Welcome back everybody to more Monster Train, and last time suffered a loss. This time I'm gonna jump back in and try to restart our winning streak hopefully. So let's get to it. Random clans, rank 25, Covenant. Let's go. Alright, Awoken Umbra. Pretty decent combination. Awoken's generally a strong clan. Umbra's pretty good too, so got Restores and Shade Splitters, of course, and let's see, Razor Sharp Edge, solid buff. Ensnare has its uses for sure, and replaced itself on the next turn. It's not too bad, and Immortal Trade can help you get through some boss fights with the lifesteal. So pretty reasonable set of starter cards there. We get the Mallet or Wing Clippings. Don't have any consume cards yet, and I'm generally not a huge fan of this anyway. Often you'll add consume to cards you don't really want in your deck, so we'll just take the Mallet. Hopefully it'll do a little bit of work for us. And of course go for the Busted Sentient here that gives us Cultivate, extra draw, and all that good stuff. Off to an excellent start, I think. Let's see, extra attack. The Sentient can handle it, hopefully. That's a really good Mallet as well. We are still going to want to set up on the top to give the Rage time to wear off. Yeah. That's all we really got there. Convenient that we get the collector for free there as well. Alright, another Razor Sharp Edge, and sure, we'll give this lifesteal. Yeah, I'll play Train Steward here as well, that's totally fine. It's not going to survive this round, obviously, but that's fine. Let's see, let's ensnare one of these. That'll reduce the amount that gets to Pyre. And let's see what we get here. Alright, so another one of these. This doesn't really matter much. Our Pyre is going to take a hit here, unfortunately. Nothing we can do to remove this other clergyman. We can play more Train Stewards to get some damage done here. And yeah, I'll prevent some damage to the champion. Even though Revenge is obviously helpful here. Alright, don't really care what happens on this floor, we'll just do one of these, and I guess stack a whole lot of lifesteal. And playing that just to get the card drawback, though it's not like we're not having any energy next turn anyway. Alright. Pretty simple, straightforward first fight. Let's see what we find. Alright, generally a big fan of Wildwood Sap. I'm generally a fan of this as well, but we already have a couple, so a little less of priority. So I'll probably just take the Sap here, just another nice heal. And here, have to consider what might be best. I don't hate having one Primal Dust. It's a reasonable enough card, and there's often synergies with X-Cost cards if you either get just lots of energy or you get the first Hell Pact. And it's a nice one to put on your tank some of the time, so let's grab it. Alright, and our options are a Gorge unit or a Animus of Speed. Not a huge fan of the Animus of Speed, it just doesn't quite output enough damage, and the Quick doesn't end up being relevant all that often. Let's see what our boss is. Cleanses benefits again. It's a little rough for these Gorgers, unfortunately. So there is some consideration just taking the Animus, but Crucible Collector is still pretty good. Let's see where we're going next. We got an Awoken banner next. Problem, of course, is that this boss really deals with almost everything Awaken does already, which is rough. So, um, so yeah, we'd really prefer a Gorger that isn't dependent on statuses, so maybe something like the Robot. So you know, I'll pick up Nano Speed. I rarely play with this card. Let's give it a shot. And then go this way, find another Awoken unit. Okay, Multi-Strike's a really nice one. Okay, well, we find another Animus, this one with Multi-Strike already, versus the Awoken Hollow. Solid Tank and Cultivate, actually something that doesn't get messed up by the boss. I think I'm gonna pick this up, even though I like the other Animus quite a bit. Then certainly look to add Multi-Strike to this thing. And probably give it a Battle Stone as well, just to make sure it can survive. Though if it sits... Yeah, maybe that's not necessary, actually. I usually like giving these weaker units a little bit extra health so you can survive sweeps and things, but if it's going to be getting Cultivate from one of our tanks, it doesn't matter quite as much. So maybe we could save that and do something like the Thornstone on this Hollow. Spikes are pretty useful in general. Let's give it a shot. And here, I think we're gonna take the trial and hope that either the mallet or the spikes we just put on can help us handle it. Okay, not quite, unfortunately, but it's alright. Let's see. I would prefer the spiky creature at the bottom, I think. So, I guess I'll play these two at the top for now. And, let's see, Train Stewards, I can play two of them. Sure, I'll throw some in the middle, they'll kill one of these guys. That's a little bit unfortunate there. I do want to play this guy. And let's see, I could Razor Sharp Dissension to get us this Collector kill, and I think that's worth doing. Some store here for the triggers. And I suppose, given this is quick, we might want it with the Awoken Hollow in our final sort of arrangement, because Dissension, of course, triggers off Revenge. Alright, here... Sure, I'll snare this. Get a heal going, and whether I have Primal Dust or some Shade Splitters. Let's just cup a couple of these guys. Alright, yep, Sap should do it. And there we go. Lifesteal, of course, fantastic combination with Rejuvenate. And there we are. Extra money, very nice. Alright, so additional spikes of Vine Grasp or Steel Enhancer. I'm probably going to go with the Vine Grasp here. We don't have any way to hit stuff in the back at the moment. So I would like to potentially put more spikes on the Hollow at some point, but the final boss will dismiss them anyway, so let's just grab the Vine Grasp. And Space Prism's interesting. It's definitely not a mortal trade. It might be Packed Morsels, just as a way to get some additional morsels. Are we doing... let's see. Yeah, we're probably going to the Umbra Banner next, so decent chance we pick up something that works with this. Space Prism... Could maybe help us fit an extra unit behind Sentient, which is not nothing. Gives us extra room for morsels as well. Yeah, I think this is just a bit more of a unique effect than the ability to get morsels, even though I do like packed morsels quite a bit, so I'll take the Space Prism. And yeah, definitely go for the artifact and the free Umbra unit over this direction. So we've got Mind Jacks and Precious Plating. Ooh, difficult choice actually. Precious Plating obviously just a huge amount of health for a Pyre, pretty good. Mind Jacks though could let us make a really spicy floor, so I think I'm gonna go for that one. And then, okay, Morsel Maker is a fine one, even though we don't currently have a Gorger, we can still put it on a floor with Sentient plus a DPS unit. It's totally fine. And then let's see what the Cavern brings us. Oh man. Well, I sort of wish I had taken the Pyre Plating so we could just get the big payout here. Yeah, I'm definitely too afraid to do this. I guess I'll do the small one. That should be fine. Don't know if that's actually worth it, but... Alright, so this floor is 7 slots. I mean, we just don't have enough good units to put over there is the real issue. Yeah, I think it's just going to be an Oaken Hollow and several Train Stewards probably, but that's okay. Let's do that, and definitely play a Restore. I guess we'll get one of these Stewards going. Actually, yeah, let's leave room for the Animus down there. And just go Train Steward at the top. That seems fine. Nice. There's the Animus, of course. Restore is great. This doesn't really matter a whole lot. So up here we're gonna plan to put a Morsel Maker, and that floor will be fine. So I guess we can expand the space here maybe. Just see what we can find. And let's give our champion just a little bit of attack. Helps some amount of time. Alright. Get this guy out there. And continue to cast heals. Do I want to play Immortal Trade? We'll have 1 energy next turn. No, I don't think so. Alright, probably gonna look to Vine Grasp this. Should help. And I can play 1 Train Steward and just leave room for a little bit of this. And sure, let's just toss this out here. It's not doing much. Alright. Been waiting for the sap, of course. Really fantastic. Razor Sharp also wants to get played. And let's see what we can find in terms of morsels. Not a whole lot, unfortunately. Yes, there we are. Alright, here, just continue stacking up these triggers. Go ahead and root that guy. I imagine we're totally fine here. There we go. Alright, let's see what we can find. Shard Channeler. often a good card. Probably won't be good here. And then Wretch and Blazing Bolts. We don't have the energy for Blazing Bolts right now, so I'm not too interested in Wretch. Doesn't appeal either, so I think this is unfortunately a skip. And here we got a Morsel Master or a Crucible Warden or a Vine Mother. Don't think Vine Mother is what we're looking for this time. Is it Crucible Warden? Again, with the effect removal, that might not be quite where we want to be. Morsel Master might be a little more interesting. We can pair it with a Morsel Maker for some pretty big benefits in that department. I'll try it. And here, I think energy is a little bit more of a concern than draw right now. So let's give that a go. Zeroing up. Alright, we definitely still want more units. We have these Mine Jacks for extra space, so we really have quite a bit to play with. And Merchant of Steel is a nice addition to that as well, as is the Vortex. So really kind of perfect path here. Large Stone, Strength Stone, okay. Let's see what Awoken unit we can find. Ooh, Sapwood, huh? Sapwood is interesting, but I think the Sweeper might be good, even though it doesn't combo particularly well with the quick unit here. I think it's still worth grabbing. We could use a Sweeper. So let's pick that up. Upgrade our champion, of course, for just additional cultivate and draw. And certainly going to be removing Train Stewards at this point. We should have enough other units that we don't need these. Alright, the Large Stone is interesting. It's obviously pretty tempting to just go ahead and put it on this guy. Makes it a 4-space unit. The Animus of Speed is also a possibility. It gives it 15 extra attack. It's quite a bit, though just putting a Strength Stone on is probably a little more sane. So we do this, it's 4. Our middle floor is going to be either 6 or 7, depending on exactly how it plays out. So we could do something like 4 plus 2. Then we have 1 space to maybe play a Morsel Maker, or just put some morsels in there. Or if we don't have the space, that's fine too. We also have the Space Prism Summon time. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and then Sentient, Morsel Maker, Shattered Shell. It's another floor. We'll see. Yeah, that seems okay. So let's make this big. Definitely give this attack. And skip out on this health, I think. I will reroll. Endless, not what I'm interested in. I'll just give more attack to the Sweeper. And we again skip out on the damage shield. Let's see where we're going next. There's another Merchant of Steel, quite possibly where we go, or maybe we go for artifacts. Either way, I want to keep our money, so let's do this. Multi-strike. We do need a bit more healing at the moment. We're although this tank just has a lot of health now as our champion, so yeah, you know, this doesn't tend to hit that hard. Let's give it a shot. Maybe it's a little bit insane, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, that's sort of perfect. So we'll go Hollow in the middle floor, Sentient down on the bottom. Obviously not doing much here, but that's fine. Definitely want to give this lifesteal. I guess I'll give our champion a shield. Then we just have to decide where the Space Prism needs to go. So up here is going to be this plus this. The problem is if we put the Morsel Master there also, it doesn't actually leave enough room to summon all these morsels. So I think what I'll do instead is extend the bottom floor, which will leave us room to play morsels. Yeah, that seems fine. Oh, it hadn't occurred to me that the Revenge was buffing the morsel there, so that was really bad, but can you deal? Alright, we do want the Animus here. Go ahead and Vine Grasp that thing. Play Morsel Master and Razor Sharp. Well, certainly playing one Restore. I think the second Restore might actually be better than the Razor Sharp, just because stacking regen is a big deal. Alright, here we'll want this, we definitely want the Sap, and we definitely want a Shattered Shell. I guess that's all we can afford, so there we are. Yeah, and I think this can largely work out. We do need to find some better heals than we have right now, but beyond that, it's not too bad. Let's just buff up that thing. And yeah, the roots don't really matter much, and we still have a couple waves left, so I'm not going to worry about the immortal trades quite yet either. And just do a couple more buffs here. Oh, that's nice. Even though, I guess, we don't have very much tax, the lifesteal doesn't do that much, but hey. Alright, looks like we're already killing, so I don't worry about it too much. Okay, we get a Pyre Wall for our trouble. Reasonable artifact. Ooh, Edge Prior is actually not too bad. We probably have room to deploy it, potentially instead of the Morsel Maker, and then we get to just cast a bunch of free spells on that. That isn't bad at all. Let's see, what does that leave us with otherwise? So that's the 7 that they get. And then this would get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't quite fit everything, but I think it's worth grabbing. And here, we have our Sweeper, so I'm not as worried about this. Crucible Extension, a little expensive. We already have the Space Prism, we don't need that much extra space, I don't think, so I'll skip here. So now we have to decide between a free artifact, potentially buying something here, though we're a little bit poor, and a Concealed Cavern versus more money, and a Merchant of Steel. Let's see, what do we still need as far as upgrades for the Merchant of Steel? The Shattered Shell could use some more help, and these guys are just... Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. I have enough to improve. Alright, multi-strike's perfect. Definitely want that on our Sweeper. Then 10 attack can go on really any one of these units. Let's put it on this guy, is the most likely to get deployed, I think. 25 health, still not great. Though, it does prevent things from stealing buffs from the more important stuff, so I might actually put it on Edge Prior. And I'll do the reroll as well, I can use some of these basic buffs. Alright, 10 attack, great. Let's put that on one of these guys. And 25 health again, sure. Helps a little bit during setup as well. Alright, 15 armor. How do we feel about our damage output? Let's see, the shell is doing 13 times 2, so that's fine. Got a Sweeper here. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with this as well. We have the fire armor as well. Should really be fine. Okay, smaller floor here means we don't want to use the bottom floor, so we'll want to set up something in the middle. So now I have to reconsider what that's going to look like, because the Awoken Hollow takes up 4 slots, so do we want it down here versus Dissentient? Dissentient doesn't want to get hit in a lot of ways, so... This is definitely interesting. So you go Hollow, Animus, what is it? Shattered Shell, that's 6. This is 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. Then the Morsel Maker can't quite get it done on its own. I think I will do this, and I just have to decide where I want to put this Morsel Maker. I'm gonna chance putting it on the top. And in the meanwhile, let's do that. Okay, we get a little bit unlucky. Let's go ahead and play the Sweeper. Obviously need to save this thing with some dust. Most of these not doing much. So I think I'll just 3 shields there. Get one of these and Alright, so the top floor is going to end up looking a little bit weird. The bottom floor is going to get just the Awoken Hollow by itself, I suppose. And here we're going to want to play the Morsel Master. Nothing much that can be done about that. Let's pull you to the front. And then play Shade Splitter. Alright, I need to stop putting morsels with our champion. That's really messes up the triggers. Alright, I'm actually gonna get the lifesteal going here as well. Alright, well there's the prism. I do want to do it here so that we can try to get the Edge Prior in there. In the meantime, let's see, Razor Sharp here makes a lot of sense. And just tossing out some regens, I guess. Obviously not exactly the plan we drew up, but I think it's working well enough. Alright, well there's the Edge Prior. Go ahead and play some of this stuff. Okay, random snare. There we go. And there we go. Alright, managed to get through that one pretty handily. Okay, focus growth is really fantastic. Restoring retreat, not actually insane either. We could maybe use some ability to move our troops around, but I think I just want the big heal. And then Crucible Extension Engine Upgrade Gem Trove. Don't think I'm interested in any of these. Alright, so we can visit yet another Steel Merchant along with a cave. I probably would rather go to a Magic Merchant and a free remove. That seems a little bit better. There are still some unit upgrades we could use, but they're not that important. Whereas removing additional stewards and getting maybe some of our spells upgraded is pretty good. So we've got double stack. certainly good on dust and on sap. I think I might put it on sap, actually. Just makes it such an incredible card. We'll reduce cost on it, back down, and add 10 magic power to Fine Grasp or Restore. Both are decent options. Let's go with one Restore, sure. Let's see, Holdover, okay. Holdover is interesting. I could Holdover and reduce cost and focus growth. Gives us a massive heal that gives us additional draw every turn. And we can even cast it for free if we have our cost reducer out. I think I actually like that idea. And this I'm actually not going to use. I like the restores in the deck. So I don't want to consume them. And let's see. Probably going to duplicate next time. I'm not sure yet what I would duplicate, but I'm sure I can find something, so I don't need to save my money here, so let's just invest in a Purge. And honestly, the Shade Splitters have been pretty bad. We're not really doing the morsel thing outside of these guys. So let's go ahead and dump one of them. Alright, that's pretty nice. Okay, so big middle floor again. I need to figure out exactly how I want to work this time. We got the Morsel Master here. So let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 6, 7. 2, 5. So I think I'm going to try to go for the hollow in the middle this time. Just kind of makes a little bit more sense. So we want the shell there still. That should be fine. This is the rally thing, okay. So then that'll leave room for one more thing, and I guess that one more thing is going to be whichever one of these we draw first, then try to get the other one in later. And then the Sentient is gonna sit up here with these things. This Morsel Master ended up being a bit of a dud, but what can you do? I can't do much with this Restore, unfortunately. Sure. There's our hollow. Let's definitely deploy that. And yeah, I think I'm just deploying my units here and letting the weight, unfortunately, screw us a bit. At least we have the armor. That would be nice. Dump these. I should have put this further up front so that the Morsel Maker is not stealing kills from it, but can't do much about it now. And yeah, these Shade Splitters just looking really awkward. Alright, I guess extending this doesn't work now because of the morsels that are present. We can't really get rid of those in any reasonable way, so I guess I'll be putting the Edgebriar up here. Bit of a mess, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and throw some heals out. Sure. Sap is obviously fantastic. Grab the weight here. And I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna keep throwing those stores at this thing for the time being. Let's try not to kill our own units. Do one of these. And that's about it. Alright, get out of the way. Definitely start casting this focus growth. These snares don't matter a lot. Come on. Go. Here comes the boss. Doing totally fine. Yeah, I mean, playing these up here doesn't really accomplish much, so need to work on our setup a little bit, but it's okay. Don't imagine this is going to be much of a problem. Go. Shroud Spike, Spreading Spores, or Wretch. So normally I'm a big fan of Spreading Spores, but again, with Seraph cleansing our effects, it's gonna end up being kind of a dud. Shroud Spike's alright. We are making some morsels, so yeah, you know, this is probably fine. And I think I'll just continue getting more energy unless we want capacity, possibly. I have to think about our layout. We do have the duplicate coming up right here shortly, so we could look to duplicate our Animus of Speed, which is quite a powerful DPS unit. I could possibly fit that, so maybe like Awoken Hollow, and two of those in the middle or something like that, and then a 6th floor could easily fit Sentient, one of these, and like some combination of these things. Let's try capacity. I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but I really feel like I'm not doing sufficient planning right now, but things are working out, so it's mostly okay. And we'll of course go for the big cultivate, big draw. See if we can improve something through the cave before looking to duplicate. Doesn't seem like it. I will take an Awoken consumable card though, and yeah, I hope it's exactly this. It's perfect. Yeah, go ahead and get out of there. Pretty weak event for this late, but it's fine. Yeah, and I think the Animus of Speed is the most sensible thing to duplicate here, so let's give that a shot. I'll just sort of have to play stuff by ear. Maybe I end up skipping out on one of the units, you know. Spell Shield, not a concern. We have exactly 1 damage spell, so this does almost nothing. Let's just go ahead and take it. Alright, so we end up with 7 there and 6 here. So I think we'll probably want Sentient, Sweeper, and an Animus down on the bottom. And then this will end up being 7, so Hollow, Animus, and then something, yeah. So that means Morsel Master is not getting played, I believe. Unfortunately, it's a really poor first hand. I guess I'll deploy this at the very top because I might as well play it somewhere. Seems fine. We can give it some morsels, but otherwise we're not doing anything. Alright, well that ended up sort of helping. Oh man, these are really bad draws right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could play this up here, and then try to shove a hollow in the front if I draw one. If not, though, it's pretty bad. Let's see. I think that has to be the plan, even though it's really not good. So then I wouldn't draw hollow next turn over there. A single extension on the bottom doesn't do much, so I guess I'll still extend up here. Let's see. I do want to play this. I definitely want to play in snare on something. Let's see. Yeah, let's... Well, then he ends up in front of this other stuff. Let's just play it on you, maybe. And I'll razor sharp back here, sure. Drawn quite badly so far. Okay, well now we get basically every unit all at the same time. There's some good news though. We get to deploy this. And the question is, can I afford an edge prior? And I think the answer is yes, because here we're just gonna play these two. Finally start eliminating some stuff, and then this can go up in the front, and that means we can cast a lot of stuff for a lot less. Unfortunately, this is going to be quite painful. Alright. 94 damage. Gonna just cast all my heals up here. That's step 1. Oh, and I'm just buffing these morsels. Oy. That's not great. Okay, let's razor sharp that. I do want to play this spike, I think. So let's just consume. Well, I actually want to consume the morsel I've been buffing, which is really awkward, but here we are. Now let's buff a different one. Pulling stuff at the front doesn't do much, so I think we're done. Man, this did not work out how I wanted it to, but not much I can do about it at this point. Let's snare that. I think do this. Yeah, these morsels have ended up being actually really awful. They just don't quite fit in anywhere. Alright, how's this floor doing? 870, that's pretty decent, and we can probably make it better. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so at least we got the boss down pretty handily. Took 66 damage, not great. Loot Custodian, no. Second focus growth is probably fine. And then Prism Retrieval? I do have a lot of units. And making them stronger isn't a bad thing. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Alright. And the awkward thing is, I kind of don't want these morsel units now. I've come to realize that they're just screwing up Cultivate way, way too much. So I might be looking to just remove those two from the deck. So we could do that here, of course, and the Merchant of Steel doesn't let us improve much. We can improve Edge Prior, and that's it. So we could go in this way, just pay some money to remove them from the deck. What does our floor look like at that point? So we have either a 6 and a 7 or a 6 and an 8. So the 7 or 8 is going to be Hollow, Animus of Speed, Edge Prior. The 6 is going to be Sentient, Animus of Speed, Shattered Shell. So I could keep Morsel Master in the mix. It's not horrendous, but could I add another Animus of Speed in? I don't think very easily. And I guess I can keep these and just kind of have them on their own floor like I have had a little bit in the past. So let's go this way. I think, what am I going to duplicate? Unclear, but the Merchant of Magic I think makes more sense. Let's see. So this is a floor, and then this is a floor, and so then these guys, yeah, these guys aren't taking up too much space, so I could maybe stick another Animus of Speed behind them or something. Let's see what we can buy here. Stink spell, spell slots, 4 random units. Not amazing. The Lightstone Casing is a maybe. So if we bought Lightstone Casing, I could remove Consume from this 10 regen. It's okay. Not that excited about it though. I think I will go in here and do a reroll. Okay, that's pretty good. Cleansing Water, maybe, but Prayer's Cloak is definitely great here. And then, let's see, 10 magic power. Just on some random restores, totally fine. Cost reduction can go on focus growth. And then consume. I have to think about that one too. Might just be better off spending some money on removals. As far as the duplicate goes, yeah, let's just make another one of these. I don't know what I'm doing right now. This has been a weird, sort of weird run. Let's start purging some Shade Splitters. Those have been just absolute garbage. Yeah, I'm just gonna purge as many of those as I can, rather than worrying about the Eternal Stone. Okay, off to fight Seraph, and good luck us, I guess. Okay, smaller on the bottom is not ideal. Oh man, okay. I do want Dissension on the bottom, along with our sweeper, I think. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think that has to be the way we do it. Just means I'll have to use the extension there eventually. It's fine. This guy's gonna go at the top. Just kind of do his own thing. Let's do that. Oh, we're getting Ember Drain too, that's gonna be unfortunate. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. Very little of this is good. I think I'm going to play one of these and play literally nothing else in my hand. Well, I'll play a couple of these restores because they deal damage, but this is off to an absolutely atrocious start. Okay, found the shell. That's kind of step one. Then the hollow wants to get played. Now, unfortunately, I'd like to get the Animus here, but it is just gonna die. So I can't even do that. Okay, this has 35 health. Let's play it. Just tank some damage. And... how much of an energy concern do we have right now? I'm gonna do this. Oof, this is a really, really tough start. Okay. Am I just dead to this sweeper? If I'm not, I'm probably dead to these guys, considering I have no energy also. Okay, this is dying, that's good. Edge Prior will also help a bit. Lets me play some of these for free, which will, of course, deal a bunch of damage. And let's see, I can't do that. So I get the Prism Retrieve somewhere. I have 2 Animus left, and that's it? Okay. So I can either put them both up here or one at the bottom. I think both up here makes sense. Fortunately, oh my god, stop. Oh, we have no energy again, of course. Of course we don't. Well, with no energy, it's going to be pretty hard to do anything. I get to play Immortal Trades if I want, and Snare, but unfortunately none of that does anything, and we're just dead. So, really super awkward draws at the end here. Just did not get what we needed, and unfortunately ended up suffering greatly for it. So, here we are, dead, and man, really strange run. I didn't know what I was doing that entire time. Certainly made a lot of misplays to get to this point. And yeah, there was probably a win here somewhere, but well, that's not where we ended up, so pretty unfortunate. And now we're gonna die. Alright, well, another loss, not doing great in the last few, but that's okay. We'll persevere and get back on the winning side eventually. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.